Here and welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today taking flight in the A320neo in Air China colours on the flights from here in Chengdu Shuangliu Airport on our way to Qamdo Bamda. So it's the world's longest runway at our destination airport today. It is the longest runway, not as long as it used to be. So when it first opened, it was 5,500 metres, 5.5 kilometres. These days, it's about 4.5 kilometres. So they've have since shut down the runway, rebuilt it, and that kind of stuff. But Microsoft Flight Sim uses slightly old nav data or satellite data for China, and as a result, in the sim, the runway still stands at 5.5 kilometres. So making a 45-minute flight today, not a very long flight. Flying with Air China 4407, and yeah, it should hopefully be quite a challenging flight. In terms of the flight plan itself, so we've got ourselves a departure out of Chengdu, pretty simple, fly to the west. Once we reach our final waypoint of Romeo Golf, nav aids end. There's no runway identification, there is a VOR DME we can track and trace, but in terms of navigation aids, there's very little going on at this airport, so we'll hope for the best. Visibility has been improving over the last couple of minutes, so I'm definitely going to be enjoying that, but with rain expected, cloud cover expected, don't expect the best weather in the world. So jump cockpit, set aircraft up, and prepare ourselves now for our departure. First things first, activate the batteries, install power and ADIS. Set the emergency lights to arm, activate the crew oxygen supply, nav lights on, and strips automatic. We'll now jump down to the tablets, get that loading up. Welcome everyone to chat, welcome Philippe. Welcome Alfie, welcome Transport, welcome Dan, welcome David, welcome everyone to chat. How are you all today? What do you think about the Thrustmaster Airbus Captain's Pack? I mean, I've heard good things, Zero. I personally don't use it. I use the old Warthog setup. Again, this camera's being very, I'm not sure about its layout today. Like I said, I'm still working out the green screen layout and all that kind of stuff. It's not perfect. It'll have to do for now. I'm still working on it. All I've got to kind of increase the green screen base for it. Yeah, so I use the Thrustmaster Warthog, but I have had good with the Airbus. It's definitely going to be... It's a good little stick. It's a good little stick. Right, I can import from SimBrief. The data it gives me is completely wrong. That's not a departure arrival airport. As far as IVAO is concerned... Or sorry, as far as SimBrief is concerned, the airport doesn't exist. So if you go to my flight plan... Whoops, it's literally just scribbles and scribbles and scribbles, where I've had to manually adjust the flight plan, including our own descent profile, just get this thing as close to accuracy as possible. So, yeah, it's a bit of a messy flight plan this, but it does work. Yeah, so the airport on SimBrief, like I say, just said Aviator, doesn't exist, so it's all has to be done manually on this case. Took a bit of time to get going, but it, yeah, ignore this. This is all wrong. I've got a manual flight plan I've written down, which has all the correct numbers on it. Right, so FMGC, we'll clear the messages, go to nationalisation and plug in our routing, which is Zulu Uniform to Zulu Uniform Bravo Delta. Return to that. Plug in our flight number, which is CA4407. We will align the IRS, take a couple of minutes. Cost next to this trip is 60. We're cruising altitude of, and this is where the first bit of fun comes in, 1160. That's, well, if you're doing it in feet, that's 116,000, basically. Gotta remember in China, all your altitudes are measured in meters, not feet, meters. So 1160, that's about 37,000 feet. So we're plugging our cruising altitude 370. And in the Airbus, you can switch from feet to meters, and that is done by switching over to metric altitude. Gotta remember though, well, charts are in meters. I don't know if Sim yet has the capability of doing stuff in meters, so worst case scenario, we end up having to convert everything between meters and feet, which will take a few extra seconds, but again, not impossible. Right, so we'll jump over to MCD menu, go to Atsu, go to AOC menu, let's do a weather request. Let's over to the weight and balance. If you're doing it from the tablet, next page will request all the passenger numbers from SimBrief and board. Right, in terms of fuel on board today, do that as well on the left hand side. We are going to input 7158. Essentially enough fuel for us to fly there and back. I don't know about refueling facilities at our destinations, so potentially don't even exist. And depending on time as well, I might do a return leg, we'll see how things go for that. Right, passengers boarding, let's plug in our flight plan. So first waypoint, and really our only major waypoint, is Mumgo. From there we fly the then fly direct to PACX. Where we fly the Bravo 213 to Romeo Golf. And at that point, oops, sorry, there we go, sorry, Romeo Golf. And at that point, we then switch over to visual flight plans. Again, there's no navigation aids. In terms of arrival airport, there is no runway information, no stars, no nothing, no VORs. We just have to point the aircraft in the direction and hope for the best. So that's the fun bit, the arrival. We've got a departure SID, which is going to be Mumgo 9 X-ray on runway 02 right. So plug that in. Mumgo 9 X-ray. Insert that, and we're good to go. Right, we'll clear discontinuity between Mumgo and PACX. That's fine. Rest of the flight plan's fine. From Romeo Golf, we can clear discontinuity. And at that point, we can get ourselves a basic direction of the airport, heading 187, but run 14, we'll have to do a bit of manual navigation on the odd charts. So Navigraph, very much going to be handy in this one. Also actually whip out the old, what do you call it? The old, where are they? There it is, right, yeah, got the old SkyVex charts as well, so definitely have to go with that in regards to the routing. Right, so, plug in our route, that's all good to go. We haven't got other passengers yet, let's get that going. So, start of flights, next, pull out from SimBrief, it's Zulu Uniform Bravo Delta. I hope PACX actually recognises the airport. 4407, cruising altitude of 37,000. Flight ticket, that was 38,100. Flight time today, an hour and 48. No, it's 50 minutes on the clock. Departure in approximately 14. Say departing at 22. So 40, 20, 25 minutes. A320neo with a passenger count of 178. 178. There is Wi-Fi. There is entertainment, I believe, in Air China A320s. We're using that. We have got boarding music for Air China. We're using that. Have got a safe briefing for Air China. Got the whole lot today. Get snacks. Yeah, we get a meal service. If it serves, it serves. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But officially, Air China do have meals on their aircraft as well. Right, so that's all boarding. Passengers are now making their way to the aircrafts. I don't think there's any ATC right now, so you are all on Unicom. Not too bad, David. Not too bad. Again, you still. How much Xbox Game Pass? It's £15 a month, I think. Discontinuity. So essentially, Alfie, discontinuity is when there's two waypoints and there's no connection between the two, and so it just has no routing unless you force to go direct. Captain Brex, the flypad is available on the development version and experimental version of A32NX, dev and experimental. How much of the world's longest runway will be using, Fleet? I don't know. That will come down to our landing data, because Landitz Airport is another challenge. Because it's high altitude, we'll go into that detail when we depart. But there you go, see no weather available at the arrival either. It's going to be a very much a blind arrival, this. Altitude also, it's like 12, 13,000. Not an easy one to fly into. But yeah, because of the high altitude of the airport and the weather conditions you get inside the valley, you're approaching at a high speed, and you've got a very high tendency to actually stall the aircraft out on approach. So there's a lot to focus on this one. The stall profile is very, very narrow, so you're going to be on the track with this one. Right. Flying much of flights next Xbox. Very nice, Mike. Do enjoy it. So we'll set the altitude to cruise. There's no ATC. Set altitude. Flights level 370.
Flight level 370.
Seated on the autopilot is fine. Flight director set and set. So we print out the weather sheet. We'll also listen out to the meter. Let's go for that now.
Winds variable at 1 meter per second, gusting to 6 meters per second. 27. Temperature 8 degrees Celsius. Scattered clouds at 4,000 feet. Dew point unknown. Winds variable at 1 meter
as far as it
per
goes for me, that's
second,
fine.
gusting to 6 meters per
Altimeter
second.
is
27.
1027.
Temperature 8 degrees Celsius. Scattered clouds at 4,000.
Alright, that's fine, thank you very much. So got our rate, got our weather sorted, got our pressure, got our output set. Increased brightness on displays, and at this point we're now pretty much just waiting for the passenger to board. And then we are good to go. Also, set up Unicom, 21122800, and communicate with our aircraft in the airspace right now. See a couple of people going up to Qamdo today. Hopefully they've all read the charts and have an idea of what's going on today, because like I say, it's not an easy flight, this one. Not an easy flight at all. So 02 right departure. SID is the Mumgo 9 X-ray. Get this thing to load. There we go. Parking type at stand 101. Taxiways to the runway. We will be pushing back on to Tango 5. Yeah, it's a really long taxiway. Tango 5 onto Delta. Taxiing to holding point Echo 1. That's set, that's all set. Cool. Activate fuel pumps since it's got fuel in the aircraft. Make sure the seatbelt sign, no smoking are also active. A little bit of backlighting on the overheads. We will start the APU. Might as well get the systems up and running before we get going. Same for integrated lighting on the upper dash. Same for the lower dash. No need flood lighting, but just get more visibility of the integrated lighting there. Created a flight plan as well, make sure that everything is in order as far as the flight's concerned. So we depart out of runway 02 right, make the right hand loop over the airport to climb over the mountains. Follow the path out to the west, and then from rim we go off, it's all visual into the airport. That is fine. Still no terrain radar, that's going to be a bit of a pain, but we should be able to navigate without too many issues with that. Just compare that to what I already know on the Navigraph charts. Yeah, so the valley out of Chengdu, as we head southwards, that's going to cause us some problems. Does this give us... Yeah, satellite mode. Yeah. It ain't an easy one, this. Visually, we're going to have to fly... We'll work it out. I can see a viable route on the charts. We'll have to give it a go based on the approach we need to do. Right, so let's have a look at the... Again, because that's, again, sim brief. In terms of altitudes, I've got none of that information. That's going to have to be based on... Let's have a look. Fine. Right, Chengdu, Qamdo Chengdu Bamda International Airport. Runway length 4500, runway direction 14. Altitude at 14,000 feet. Nope, that's in meters. There you go, sorry, elevation, yeah. So the airport is... Actually, the runway length is actually longer than the airport's elevation, fair enough. We're looking at about 15,000 feet for the airport elevation as well, so descending to about 20,000 if we take it in by hand. Even right now, what are we at? Well, we're only about 2,000 at the moment. 2,000, yeah, 2020. So we descend, well, climb to 37, descent very shallow indeed. Right, so we're just waiting for the passengers to finish boarding now. As soon as they're on the aircraft, I am ready to go. Oh look, it's another one of these. Julio, Azerbaijanisation of surnames. I've seen that. I've seen your brother, Julio. It's not a very common surname, that. I have seen your brother. I can't remember his first name, but I remember Azerbaijanisation of surnames as a passenger we had on one of my premiere flights a couple of weeks ago. Actually, flight come back from Edinburgh, if I recall correctly. Otherwise, passenger names are all localised in Chinese, as you could expect. A few American passengers on board every so often, based on names like Logan Saunders. But yeah, apart from that, it's a relatively full flight today. Chengdu nice airport, rest of my family in that country. Oh, did I live out there? YT Thunder, very nice. Yes, the airport does Navigraph 5 Hanyel, so you are very much based on, let's say, this is a visual approach into Chengdu. It's all visual, all the challenge. Right, actually before I forget, talking about performance departure, so let's grab the tablets. Where are you? There you are, TPC. Right, so take performance calculator, aircraft A320, runway length at departure airport. It is, I remember the airport's name, Chengdu Shuangliu. Right, this airport is, it's 3,600 metres, 3,600. Yeah, exactly, that's fine. Airport elevation 495 metres, that's going to be in feet. Because in China, everything's measured in metres. That's 16,050 feet, 16, something like that. Wind component, headwind of 5 miles per hour. Alright, convert that to knots. Headwind of 4 knots. Outside air temperature is currently 9 degrees centigrade, 2.-1. So it's going to be that. QNH is 1027. Takeoff weight is 69837. Flaps 1. Yes, this is low altitude, so there's any flaps on required. If departing from Chengdu, would have to do flaps 2, but that flaps on will do us fine. Anti-ice 9 degrees. We will activate. I think we need to activate the wing anti-ice, won't we? Yeah, go on, wing and engine. We'll push it all out. Pro-heats on. Alright, wing and engine. Runway condition is wet. So Flex 49 rotates 148, sorry, 148 V1, 155 rotate V2, 157. So we'll plug those numbers in now. We will need to turn off the anti-ice for the engine start up, so make sure we do that after we've pushed. Activate the PU bleeds to bring air onto the aircraft. This next from the external power. Also V1, 148. Rotate 155. Apologies for fireworks, they're still going on in London today. They'll be going on for the next week at least. Flaps 1, flex temp is 49. Transition altitude is going to be in meters, is it? Transition altitude, flight level 197. Or 6,000 meters. 190, would you accept that? Format error. Okay, 19700, would you accept it in raw data? Yes you will, that's fine. Cool, so that's our performance setup, that's our aircraft ready for departure. Few mismatched deliveries here and there. Air China behind us already pushed back, so we can't. Alright, so we have to wait for them to move first before we can start our own pushback. just going to wait for them to taxi. As soon as they do, we'll then announce our end push and starts. There we go. Switch over to Unicom. Well, we're on Unicom, that's fine. Just announce our push starts from stand 101. And let's get going. Ground from flight deck. Request pushback.
Pushback request confirmed.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 4407.
Yep, that's the beacon lights, background clear, engine starts. That's all fine.
We ask that you make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your larger devices are now shut down and stowed. If you have not already, please fasten your seatbelt and verify it is low and tight as possible.
Welcome Walker, how are you doing? Welcome channel, welcome chats, how are you today? How are you? Right, in position. Ground from flight deck.
Good afternoon, Captain. Yes, everything is ready down here. Release parking brakes.
Brakes released.
Okay, pushback begins.
Engine to ignition. And it is starting to rain again, I've just noted.
Fine. You are cleared to start the engines now.
Engine 2, start. Turn facing west.
Sure, let me turn you to a western course.
Stop pushback.
Okay, I'm stopping now. Please tell when the parking brakes are set.
Brakes set.
Okay, Captain. Pushback pins are removed. Now it's your turn. See you again.
Right. So engine 2 now available. Engine 1 will start. Disconnect from the ground. That is fine. Hand cam, so it will survive for the rest of the stream. But I'm still setting up hand cam. It's still very much in its early stages. I'll finish that off at some point soon. Yeah, it's 3 of us today. Flying real time, not at all SGL, because it's a visual approach into arrival airport today. You can't fly at night, it has to be daytime. And again, whenever I fly at night, you guys complain that it's too dark outside, and therefore, not worth it. Test controls. We'll get Cockpit to our flight control checks for us. We'll monitor engine number 1. Yeah, it's alright, okay. Z4, is it Joshith? You have tagged along. Very good. We'll see you in the air, dude.
Okay.
Right. Turn off the ignition. And we will... Whoops. Yep, sorry, no, that is set. I had the okay for the co-pilot there. I thought that was me turning off the ignition too early, but no, engine is active. Yeah, it's responsive to throttle, perfect. Right. Flaps position 1. Flaps position 1.
Flaps to 1.
Parking brake release. Throttle 10%.
Engaging throttle to 10%.
Taxi lights set. Announced on the Unicom. We are taxiing to runway. Co-pilot, I'm using 2 mods, Captain Brex. I'm using throttle 15%.
Thrust to 30%.
Throttle 15%. Okay, well, we're doing it ourselves then. Throttle 30, come on, that's a bit too much. Wipers on. Nope, okay, wipers on me as well. Using 2 mods, we're using HTS sound packs with VoiceAttack. HTS Aviator with VoiceAttack, 2 mods that work together to create the co-pilots for flights. I've just realised I'm on the wrong way. Should have faced to the east. Okay, that's fine. We'll go via Charlie instead. The approach to winter, it's all visual today, so we're going to base our approach on the local charts and mountain terrains into Qamdo, and essentially we're going to have to visually make an approach in towards the runway. Visibility not looking great, it's slightly better than what we've got at the moment here in Chengdu's departure, but that is set to worsen as we fly towards the west, so hopefully from the it's not worsen too much. There's names in the description there, Captain Brex. They cost about $10 each, so it costs $20 for both of them. Again, working together, it's a very good little pack. Compatible with all aircraft flight sim, not just the A320. So when I fly long haul, I do also make use of it as well. Also, that's for GA aircraft, so pretty good little system. 90 minutes, repeat yourself a million times. It is flight sim, but hey ho. You've got to say it 100 times for people to understand. That's what you've got to say. No, wipers in flight sim don't do anything. They are just a thing to make a bit of sound, pretty much. So passengers expect to departure about 5 minutes, which, given that you're testing to the furthest runway at the airport, does sound about right. Once we get on to Delta, we'll then do our pre-takeoff checks. Not too bad, Sapon, not too bad. Worked this morning, got home about 4:30. Had a bit of rest. Now here to start some streaming. We'll continue on mic and take the first right onto Delta. Just about hear the cabin crew safety announcement in the background as well. They're trying to make use of videos on all their aircraft, so be hearing some of that throughout the flight. Also making use of the brand new 2022 Winter Olympics safety video. I've just realised this isn't actually a bridge, is it? Otherwise we are now going to cross, yep, we are going to cross some highway traffic on the taxiway here. Yeah, this is a bridge. You can see where the bridge is supposed to be, but obviously the airport data hasn't quite fit in. This game of frog here right now. Time it right. Time it right. Alright, increase throttle. Yeah, like a pro. Like a pro. I was pretty good at Frogger, so obviously a skill that now transfers to piloting. No ATC 0 at the moment, no ATC. We're in the middle of China. There is rarely ATC in this on both VATS and IVAO. It's tiny little airport. Well, it's not a tiny little airport, but it's not a very well-flown region, so we are going to be on Unicom for virtually all this flight. Right, let's head on to Delta. I'm number 2 for departure. The China Airlines on the left there. They'll be heading before us, and they're also set to land before us at Qamdo as well. So that'll be the first attempt into the airport. hopefully they know their navigation. If not, they've got a problem. Set the brakes now. So let's go through the checklist. So all brake sets, signs are active, cabin check, spoilers armed, flaps are set for takeoff, take config, test, takeoff config, normal. We are good to go. Flight on Tapple, about 45 minutes from start to finish today. About 45 minutes. It's not a very long flight. To be fair, the rain actually has, for the most part, stopped. I think we can get away with turning the wipers off now. If it is raining, it's only a minor drizzle. Also, activates the anti-icing, as we got that all featured in the takeoff config now, and therefore it was a requirement for our takeoff calculation to be correct. Just a reminder, we are V1 on 148, rotating 155. Another aircraft just behind us as well. They're in the Air China. I think it's one of the promotional liveries, I think, for the Winter Olympics. Yes, they're in a promotional livery. Oops, sense line there. Pretty correct stats. Racing Aviator. Well, if you want to go ahead, feel free to go ahead. Do I plan to fly 737 plane? At some point soon, so I will do, yes. I think next weekend I'll try and do a 737 flight right there, do kind of an inter-European flight. Hopefully that goes to plan if we get a bit of time for it on Saturday. We'll go to plan. Yeah, again, if they want to go in front, let them go in front. It's down to them, really. Yeah, so elevation will play a factor here at Chengdu, Adam. The arrival airport is where elevation will play a big factor, but certainly will have an effect here. Combined factors wet runway and anti-ice is active, aka slightly reduced power output on the engines. We'll have to reduce throttle. So we're on IVAO, Miles. We're flying on IVAO. Alright, so I'm falling back to number 3 for departure. I'll allow them to depart before us. So we'll hold position at Echo. Well, hold position on Delta. And we'll allow them to cross in front. No, J-Theater, you're in front. You wanted to race, you're in front now. If you want to be realistic, then you could have taxed a bit slower, but no, you've pushed yourself into number 2. Nope, you're number 2, J-Theater. You've asked for that, you've got it. Throttle now, starting off a little bit of speed as you enter the holding location. The 02 right is the furthest runway from the terminals, Captain Brex, so yes, this is definitely a bit of a hefty taxi to the runway on this occasion. Almost as bad as Madrid, but Madrid, if you ever go to the far south for that, it's yeah, Madrid's one of the worst airports for taxiing if you want to get a swift departure out. What's the other one? I think, is it Frankfurt? Yeah, Frankfurt's also pretty bad as well. Just you, flight sim, just you. For me, mentally prepared for this approach. The weather's not as good as it should be, at least as good as I was hoping it for it to be. But that shouldn't cause too many problems for us. Amsterdam's another one, yes, Amsterdam's Polderbarn departure, that's another one that requires a hefty taxi. Right, holding Delta, hold the parking brake. There we go, they should be able to just taxi into position and hold. First aircraft's departed, there we are. So they'll position and hold. We'll now slide in to number 3, whoops. I did test flights from Munich, took off 26 left, took you 5 minutes yet. Again, there are a few airports. The bigger the airport, the longer it takes. Well, obviously it does. The bigger the airport, further out the runways, but Frankfurt's a big one. Munich's a big one. Barcelona's a big one. Can you fly to Romania at some point soon? We will do, when Splash, we certainly will do. It's been a while since is it Bucharest? Yeah, it is Bucharest. It's been a while since we last flew into there. Right. Holding 02 right. The aircraft on the runway is not on Unicom. He's not communicating with anyone. He didn't announce his departure. Position and hold runway 02 right. Zulu uniform. Brakes released. Cabin crew, seats for departure, please. Takeoff flight set. Transponder. Mode Charlie. It's not a long flight, Daniel. Not a long flight, but quite a challenging one. Welcome Benji Boy, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to chat. How are you today? How are you doing? Actually, while on runway, might as well double check the tablet for the incoming storm cells as well. That'll prove handy in regards to seeing kind of what weather we're expecting. This runway is only about, well, it's about 3 kilometers in length, so it's actually quite a long one. Not the longest. So actually, you can kind of see we're very much on the edge of the storm cell. Chengdu, our destination, you see it on the map over here. Relatively clear for weather, so there's no rain reported. Should be pretty dry. Hopefully that'll stay very much within our visual limits. Do I have runway texture mod? I am using what do you call it? The enhanced airport textures add-on by, is it Zenitech? I think it is. Right. Well, enough space, enough time as a transaction between myself and the aircraft in front. They've started around turn. Let's get going. So, support the throttle around 40. Should make sure the hand cam's on as well. There you go. Hold the nose down. Throttle's 1-2 stable. Throttle flex. Engine blue. Okay, there it is. Bit messy that thrust there, 80 knots, 100 knots. Bit messy that, but turbo takeoff in the end. One. Rotates. Yes, there's our fireworks you can hear. Nick is, well, bonfire night was yesterday, but it is Saturday today, so going to be the after my fireworks there. Positive rates gear up. Nothing to do about Cyprus, I'm afraid. Yeah, Happy New Year. Make a right hand turn, get ourselves towards the flight heading. Reduced to climb. Level the aircraft off. Pitch down to about 10 degrees. Autopilot on.
Autopilot is now on.
Did I have any fireworks myself? No, I did not. So now flying over Chengdu. See the tunnel behind us now. We did use a fair bit of that runway, did we? fair bit of length that. We'll announce we're passing through 4,500 feet on Unicom. Flaps up.
Retracting flaps.
We'll now continue with our set of departure. Zoom out the ND slightly. Probably just about, yeah, stick to 6 miles for now. Go over to flight plan mode. And while we're here, chance to just look outside at the scenery down below. Well, what's much to scenery again? It's low visibility, not looking too grand. The approach, if all goes to plan, should be pretty spectacular. Passing through 6,000 feet. I'm not too bad today, bus driver. How are you doing? Welcome to channel. Welcome to chat. How are you today? Happy New Year indeed. Yeah, so we get fireworks in this country when you reach bonfire night. It's not just one night. Fireworks go for about a week and a half, 2 weeks after. They'll pretty much continue now throughout the New Year's. So I do apologise for any popping in the background in future streams. You're going to hear fireworks. A320's having issues, not at the moment, Warhawk, not at the moment. Long flights, not at all, Martin. It's only about 45 minutes today. It's only a 45-minute trip. I'm looking at the radar then, Studio waypoint, that's fine. In terms of the traffic, we should have plenty of separation between us anyway, so it'd help if other aircraft had the transponders turned on. They don't. I don't have very much base on the old visual today. And that was quite fun. So on departure path is out, so front aircraft there heading up to Qamdo now. Just behind them at flights level... They're only at 32... step climb, yeah, they're currently at 330. What are they currently at then? They're currently at 24. They're going to see each other. Going to see each other up close if you're still planning to go up to... so 11,000 meters, yeah. You're going to cross paths. Good luck.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 10,000
10,000 feet, landing lights off.
It's also a reminder to fast logic, not
Right, next waypoint, Charlie Zulu Hotel. Zoom out on the ND. Yeah, that's for 320 miles, that's fine. Oops, reset the ground spoilers. We'll leave the seatbelt sign active for a little bit longer. We'll wait until we kind of get to the roof of this cloud layer before we start the cloud switching that all off. I'm hoping the cloud, what is the cloud roof if we've got it reported? Scattered at 04. Scattered at 04. There's no weather at our arrival airports. I'm going to see if there's any local weather stations that we could possibly use. Qamdo weather, right. So weather at the moment is reporting patchy light snow. 9 knots coming in from the north. Altimeter 1, that's fine. So we've got the altimeter. And cloud cover is... Okay, so it's scattered clouds. No altitude you can get from this, but that we'll leave open for now. Right. So the airport flying to, yes, it's located in the middle of the mountains, bus driver. It's a visual approach. Hopefully we'll get some sort of visibility into it. But yes, it's departure in the middle of the mountains. It's arrival in the middle of the mountains on the world's longest runway. I wonder if, yeah, so I look at the weather radar on Volanta. We're at the worst part. I mean, look at storms. The storm cells out east is horrible. We're glad we're avoiding that. For the most part, it could be one of 2 reasons. Reason 1, well sheltered in the mountains. What's more likely, reason 2, no weather stations out in the mountains. So that's probably my biggest concern in this flight, in that we don't really have much in the way of forward notice. Yeah, it's fine. I have to wing it at this point. It's cold. Breaking out of some of the clouds. Hopefully. See how it goes. So on seatbelt sign, since it's now relatively stable in the climate, no turbulence being detected. Should be good to go. Have a good cabin. Let's swing back here. Studio, currently traveling for business, currently in content mood.
Flight services is also faster seatbelt time. You can now get episodes about the cabin. However, we ask that
Right, so breaking out the cloud layer now, we're currently passing through 16,000 feet. Our airport elevation arriving at 14,000, so... Okay, low fog we may call it. Let's say, for the most part, we should be alright. We've got an idea where we're going to. 5 kilometres of runway, it's not exactly going to be hard to miss. Even if we don't quite get the touchdown zone, we'll probably go and make some of the runway. Do I plan to check out for FS Realistic? Yes I do, Adam. Yes I do. I mean, I adore XP Realistic for X-Plane. It's a fantastic add-on for a bit more realism in the camera movement and all that. So hopefully, get the same kind of effect in Flight Sim once that comes out. So hopefully, fingers crossed, FS Realistic just has a bit more life, a bit more depth to the CMX as a whole. Passing through 18,000 now, so we've set the standard altimeter at 18,700. Or 10,100 meters transition. Sorry, no, it's transition level is okay, 6,000 meters, 197. That'll do. Meters gonna throw me off with this. I don't think it works the conversion, does it? There we go, yes, it does. So, meters straight at the bottom there, 5,100 meters, and climbing. We'll leave that active for the duration of the flights. A32NX version Murillo, we're using the experimental version for this flight. We use the experimental version of the A32NX. Thank you very much to Diego for being a sponsor. Welcome. Well, 10 months of business class, dude. Thank you very much for the support. You are a superstar. Thank you very much. You are fantastic. Months. Gosh, comes to a year now. Thought the FNX would update itself in game. No, it's mainly updates, Warhawk. The in-sim version got removed because of issues with the SDK. As a result, FlyByWire decided to pull it from the marketplace. You have to go through third party. Also, not coming to Xbox as it stands. Welcome Ethan, how you doing? Welcome channel. Welcome to Jets, how are you doing today? Is VNAV top set working yet? Not yet, Murillo, but if you head over to the FlyByWire Twitter page, they actually published an update earlier today showcasing VNAV in action. So it's on the way, very close now. Hopefully we'll see a release of that before the end of the year. Oops, turbulence there. If it gets too strong, I'm going to have to go back to the seatbelt sign. Also, notice the uncommon tailcode there. Bravo 30 Alpha 6. China's tailcodes. So I see a bit of difference to the traditional international. 16 gigs of RAM enough for this game. Should be Lego. Should be if not doing too much streaming. Yes. And Volanta accepting. Yes, I do, West Channel. I'll add you to Volanta when the stream ends. Welcome, Bossman. How you doing? Welcome, channel. Welcome to chat. How are you today? Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're all doing good. Right, I'll turn on the seatbelt sign now because turbulence is getting a bit bumpy now. True, the US also got its very unique style of tail registrations with the Novembers. I'm alright, dude. I'm alright. So far, so good. We're on a climb out from Chengdu. About 10% of the way there. So making our way towards the PACX waypoints. hopefully stabilise a little bit. 39455. 381. In reality, this flight's flown by, I think it's the A319s that fly this particular route. 4407. You get the odd A320 in this. 19's generally the aircraft in use. A bit more nimble, and therefore easy getting out of the high altitude airspace. Not impossible for a Neo, just needs a bit more work to it. Nice. Whoa, that was a dip. You can see the airport now at the top of our ND there. So I'm going to now plan our descents into this airport. Elevation is 14,219. So I'll put that into the calculator. Our cruising altitude will be 37,000 feet. So we need to descend about 70 odd miles before the airport. Give about 2,000 feet of give from... Actually, we'll worry about 1,500 give from the valley down below, so work that out as well. So if we round it to... So we'll say 1,400, 1,550. 68 miles descent. What is passenger satisfaction based on PACX, Adam? It's based on timing, entertainment level. So if it's an aircraft, what do you call it, entertainment systems, all that, then you get more satisfaction over aircraft with bare bones, no frills. Anorexic flying. So turbulence is fine. Turbulence will affect your score. But if I were to start nosediving the aircraft now, then PACX will start to throw in a warning because nosediving the aircraft. So it's down to quality aircraft in regards to what you put into the start of your flights. So in my case, I've got entertainment, I've got meal service, I've got all the extras, and yeah, as long as I fly relatively straight, it should be alright for us as flights. I hope no one's broken this cloud. That's my number one hope for this flight. If not, I'm hoping it's a bit thinner than it actually is. It's negative to a visual approach. If there's no visual, you've got no hope basically. Yes, landing rate does affect satisfaction as well, Adam. So if you land too rough, then you lose points. If you have an average to good landing, you won't lose points. But if you slam it at like 1,000 feet per minute, then you also lose some satisfaction points as well. Gosh, the turbulence really is taking a kick today. 32,000 feet, level 320. Even the wing flex, look at that. You've flown to Lex in 2 weeks, first time flying Virgin Atlantic A320. Very nice bus driver, do enjoy it, well, it's an airline version, you get yourself some pretty good service, you'll enjoy it. You can see some of the peaks of the mountains now down below, through the clouds. So it's thick cloud cover, but again, high altitude we're flying into. Not to mention breaking landing gear, true, breaking landing gear, you're going to lose a few points to that as well. Yep, lots of turbulence today, Sojo. Lots of turbulence today. Gonna be very careful with this. We're also now leaving the Sichuan province. So Chengdu is the capital of the Sichuan province of China, which is the kind of central region that borders. Well, it doesn't really border anything. It's kind of just, yeah, it's mid-China. Crossing to Tibet, so our arrival airport's within the Tibet region. Just north of Burma, Myanmar. Must be just north of Bhutan and Nepal. Yeah, bumpy roller coaster ride. Still not even a cruise yet. Nearly there. Flight E level 350 passing out. 37's cruise. Remember being in an air pocket on Norwegian 787 approach into Miami? Feels like screaming, gosh. Don't hear that on approach. Nope, we are now hopefully just about to level off the cruise. I mean, in terms of the winds on the arrival, the winds are only reporting to be at... What is that? It's about 4 or 5 knots. 4 or 5 knot winds down below. Again, it's going to be updrafts from mountains down below. So as the altitude rises, belly down as well. Cruising altitude flight level 370 paid. Flight level 370, 37,000 feet. Now it's 36,200. Climb performance, not as good as it should be. 1, because of high altitude, 2, because of turbulence. But again, we'll be leveling off very shortly anyway. You also mentioned 100% 1% for the bumps, very nice. Hats on flight, you know, just flip the aircraft over. Gosh, unlucky Avgeek. I've personally never had that, but yeah, well. Now note, the other aircraft's gone as well, actually. All of a sudden, I'm now number 1 in this leg into Bangda. Okay, so many names of airports. So it's Qamdo Bamda Airport, also known as Changdu Bamda Airport. Pick and choose which one you prefer. Gone through 4 arrivals, down to 2. Right, welcome to cruise. So we are now 293 miles from the arrival, yeah. Ignore the arrival time, 24 minutes, we are way off in that time. We managed to be close to an hour or so, the flight time. You win some, you lose some. That, and we had slightly late departure as well, so potentially that's gone in place as well. Yeah, the anti-ice is fine, ice not detected, so we turn off the anti-icing now, so this ice is now being detected. So that'll come off. Steamboats are active, snow smoking signs are active, so passengers stay seated for a bit longer. The altimeter for the arrival airport is 1015, 1016, upload to weather, that's fine. Heavy snow, starting to snow a bit more now. Up to 3mm, wind speeds decreased a bit down to 4 knots. Any thoughts on new Sukhoi Superjet for this? There's a Superjet transport gamer. Not one I'm aware of. Who's developed it? Who's developed it? Let me have a look now. Listen, I've not heard of Superjet in developments. Interesting. Jesus. What is it heading right now? 137 knots! Where did that come from? Okay. Coughing corner. Okay. We'll take it for a bit. These cruisers load have band speed. I'm gonna have to, Amjads. Jesus. Set altitude, flight level 300.
Flight level 300.
Alright, descend. I'll leave it on toga throttle now just to keep this power going. You're rescuing up from the ceiling. Alright, we're descending down to 30,000, I hope. Aircraft's climbing. Alright, we'll have to manually descend it then. I was expecting a challenge, but hopes was pilot goes to speed on 100, nothing to do about it. Why do you hope that, Colonel? Satisfaction 95%. Passengers, as far as they're concerned, they've not even noticed a thing yet. What are you doing with flights from Bristol? We will do, Alan. Alien, sorry. We will do. So sending a rate of about 2,000 feet per minute. We're flying level, but the wind's having a good part in just allowing us to move altitude there. He snacks on the back of the plane. Looking for a single service now, just over the floor of the galley. Alright, autopilot back on now. Aircrafts. Try and descend a bit. Right, I left that manually then. Throttle back to climb. Yeah, I'd say at 345 if I were you, Josh Shift. I'm dropping down. Well, it has to be odd number, so we'll go down to 29,000. At least we broke out the cloud cover. Visibility getting better. I'm going to adjust our target now down to 29,000. So only 42 miles percent. From now on. The weather at Qamdo's not looking too bad. Like I said, the visibility I was expecting to be better, and this is far better than I was hoping for. Means the vision approach will be a lot nicer for us. There's one behind us. The second aircraft behind us is a passing traffic. Right, this is the Sukhoi Su-jet talking about, Sukhoi Su-jet 100. Will I be using it? Well, default 320 cockpit, so probably not. Should we not set the throttles to climb? Throttle idle. We'll give speed control back to the aircraft now. We have done 29,000 aircrafts. Please continue to descend. A bit further, since we're the peak of the valley is about 20,000, so let's go down 25,000 if possible. We use the experimental version, the pilot. We use the experimental version of the A32NX. Ground speed right now we are doing 335. Flying Mach 0.7, still showing about 120, 125. Yes, yeah, you can see, so airspeed indicates airspeed. What's 280? True airspeed is 460, 342, so that minus that equals that. So we're doing about 300 knots. As a result, yeah, so when I said a flight's about 55 minutes long, it is when there's not a 100 knot headwind slowing you down. So yeah, we are late due to weather. This week on Air Crash Investigation. I think this is probably the strongest winds we've flown in so far. The visuals, don't get me wrong, I mean we are now getting some very beautiful mountains down below to look at. In fact, I think it's screenshot time. Oh, I don't have a Photoshop open to edit these yet, so I have to do all that later. Airlines Live, how are you doing? Welcome channel, welcome to chat, how are you today? How are you doing? In terms of mileage, enter destination data. Right, let's so again, there's no star, nothing set up on that regard. Performance, so there's no local weather station. We're basing it all on local weather online data. QNH is one. We'll refresh it one more time. Right, QNH 1016. Temperature is -1 degree centigrades. Winds are 8 knots at 8 kilometers an hour. That's knots. North-northeast. So that would be 030 at 8 kmh in KTS. 4 knots. Transition altitude will again be, say, 18,000. It's about 19,000 something. I'll say 18 for the sake of this. Barometer minimums approach 15,000. Use flaps 3 approach. 145 approaching, landing 140. So again, somewhat higher speed for approach. Given that the flaps limitation is about 160, it gives us 20 knots of window. Still quite bumpy. As soon as we're at the valley itself, actually things are a bit nicer for us because the hills themselves or acts as a shield for the mountains. So once we get to that stage, we'll be alright. Before we get there, we'll deal with this. If I grab the local charts for air, we're going to have to work it out. We need to make a left heading towards 200, enter the mouth of the valley, and just follow it down in a straight line to 11814. So Turbulence still kicking a bit. Down to 29,000, flight level 290. Increase speed slightly. High cruise speed, Mach 180. Hopefully more speed and try and push woo for a bit more for a bit of a level of flight. Also slightly shorter flights. The weather's alright. The winds are horrible. You can also kind of see in the background where the rainstorms are rolling and approaching, and thunder. But visibility, that's alright. That's actually 95%, so I would have died by now. Probably everyone has died. Hey, Chinese people are built differently. No, really, they are. Well, what are we at now? We're at 20. We'll hold off at 27, I think. We won't send any further. Hold at 27. Continue the cruise as it is. A bit lower than I probably I'd want to be, but all things considered, going to be where we're going to have to be, regardless. Everyone died before they gave a satisfaction rating. The winds are bad, getting a little sick back gear. Do you have a bag for you, please? Just said you're going up on the ceiling. I mean, your landing's going to be the big make or break for this one. I'll make sure that FCR is recording. It's an altitude indicator because we've gained another couple hundred feet. FlightControlReplay up and running. So the altitude is going to have to manually descend at this point. Essentially, if the altitude buzzed that's sounding because we're just gaining altitude at this point. What's happening, Luffy? Really bad weather. Really bad weather. The aircraft's really not regaining. Well, struggling. Certainly struggling. You can see how our altitude. We climb is pretty normal. We cruise at a little bit at 38. Descent for the sake of turbulence. Now we're just gaining altitude again. Mountains causing a bit of hassle. We're halfway there now. Your grandparents from China, they aren't built differently, they're just strict. Do you plan to do a return flight? We'll see how things go, the pilots. Based on current weather, I don't know if we have an aircraft to make a return flight or not. See how it goes. Speed breaks the fix for everything. True. Not on this occasion though. Who even lives in Qamdo? So the city itself is a couple of miles north of the airport. passenger usage, does it even give passenger usage? Probably not. It was the highest airport in the world for a couple of years, although that's since been surpassed by Daojiang Airport, which is served by Air China, China Southern, they'll be there, Chongqing Airlines and Sichuan Airlines. They're also not too far from there actually, just kind of to the eastern border of Sichuan. But no, certainly still the longest runway in the world, at the moment 4,500 metres, with the original 5,500 since closed, but Microsoft Flight Sim still operational. So this is still the second highest airport in the entire world. Okay, apologies for the altitude buzzer. Until we lose about 1,000 feet, it's just gonna sound. Do I know any words in Chinese? Not at all, Diego, I'm afraid. Not at all. According to us, there are airport's top mountains. Is that true? Yes, there is, Diego. We'll find one of them today. Yes, that is a true fact. Much higher than he has Kendall. So Haza is at an altitude of 3,570. This airport is 4,500 meters. So it's about 1,000. It's about a kilometer higher than Al Haza, Gonga. Third highest airport in the world is El Alto. That's over in Bolivia. Grandpa's from the city, not bad. So I presume you've been here in real life. Have you flown this route, Just Gamer? Is this something you've done in real life? How is it? I wonder if an airline in real life can manage turbulence. Well. I mean, aircraft are built to withstand quite a fair bit, Adam. So it wouldn't be surprising me if these were capable. Flying an Airbus certainly more so than Boeing. Boeing would suffer in this. An Airbus, a bit more going on. Seem complete on top of the World Challenge of Volanta, flying 2 legs Gdansk to Johnson on Wednesday, which was felt bad, okay. Increase our center rate slightly, just to get this airplane down to the 27 level. 400, gosh. Which airline operates 400 in this? Who would even attempt that? Bad enough a jetliner. What's the most fabulous flights I've been on? It was a flight from London Stansted to Oslo. It was the second time I went to Oslo, and it was in the middle of storm. I think it was Storm Duncan, or one of the storms like that. So, actually no. I'll take that back. My most turbulent flight was Milan Linate to London City Airport. We approached the city during one of the storms again, and the approach into the city was scary to say the least. Yeah, what I can say, it was... The approach was all over the place. I found I've uploaded a video of the actual landing on YouTube. You can actually hear me in the background just commenting like, no, go around, stuff like that in the background, because I just felt the aircraft's approach path was horrible. But no, made the landing, stuck it. Fair play to the Alitalia crew of that. A turbulent flight, Linate to a city in the Embraer 190, so you felt it. Also, I'd probably put a shout out into an indicator as well. So in the ATR 42 from Athens to Limnos, my outbound flights also got pretty bumpy as well. I'll leave an external view just so you guys can enjoy the turbulence of that. You recommending flight between Dakar and Tunis in the morning for Casino Sahara, very nice. Sorry about the moment the plane shambles. Yeah, That's what everyone's saying, JV8 are. Like I say, pre-plan the route. If you don't know where the route is, you're going to suffer. In your case, you suffered. Did you know you can disable warning by hitting both the buttons in front of your cockpits? Well, we're down to 27 now. Which buttons? Well, master caution, because that's not a master caution alarm. Experimental version, Panther. Download the A32NX with experimental. I've already uploaded the AppInTheAir. This you just said I've already uploaded the video to this landing. You're obviously not paying attention still. You've got a skill in that, not listening. A screenshot of this. Again, the scenery's fantastic. Just a shame the weather isn't faring because of it. Most time you've been on is the times 3 and 2 on Frankfurt altitudes in the night. Climb out extreme turbulence, very scary. In 3 seconds, drop like a stone. And approaching to Berlin like that once, where the weather was really, really bad. Flew with EasyJet back in like 2014. I remember landing, yeah, that also got a bit funky as well. I'm sure there's actually an incident that happened in China a little while ago due to some bad storms as well. Air China A320 emergency. I'm trying to find it. It's still Sichuan Airlines flight 6833. Emergency landing at Chengdu. This is where we departed from earlier today. So emergency landing at Chengdu after a cockpit windshield was failed. Aircraft involved was A19100. Instant diverted to film. The captain. I've got the film. I need to watch it at some point. Explosive decompression due to windshield failure. Slightly seatbelting. First officer was sucked out of the cockpit. He suffered abrasions, minor right injury, was sprained wrist. Flight and flight attendants also suffered a wrist injury, received treatment. Yeah, so the Chinese Civil Aviation Authority. So the investment Chinese Authority and Sichuan Airlines, in accordance with the Chicago Convention, Airbus have said nothing about it. In June 25, report was released. Root cause of the aircraft due to damage on the single right hand windshield due to moisture. Temperature changes for takeoff landing due to less further damage with the windshield layers as a result of pressure difference disconnected in the windshield bursting open. Yeah, there you go. There you go. No measures were taken as a result of the incident. A similar incident would occur on board United Airlines flight 2 years later, caused by a hailstorm. The crew and pilots continue to work for Sichuan Airlines, and the aircraft continues to fly as 3 uniform. Keep flying. Oh, the aircraft continues to fly 3 uniform 8633 in operation. Flying the same route. Aircraft Bravo 6419 was repaired and later returned to service to Sichuan Airlines on January 2019. So there's a windshield failure in this part of China. What was the route? It came out of Chongqing in Tibet. So, sorry, out of Yubei. Flying to Tibet, into Lhasa Gonga, which is the major airport within Tibet. Yep, PACX 747 incident. That was also due to poor weather visibility and wet runway conditions for the aircraft's. Was it an Air France 747? I think it was Air France or China Airlines? I'll have to check that one. But yeah, that was due to poor weather conditions and ended up late landing and skidded into the water at the end of the runway. Finish 20, yes, very excited for that, Skylark. Very excited indeed. Yeah, it'll be good to have another 320 in the sim. And with a good level of quality too, just adds another bit of competition to the whole flight sim scene. So it was speaking a decent amount of Chinese, the airport's pretty hard to land as well. I've done a couple of flights. Qamdo to Ningxi, quite peaceful, very nice. It was China as well, it was Air China. I'm sure Air France had an incident at as well then many years ago. I'm going to have to check that as well. Air France tank. Maybe not. Maybe not. Yes, China Airlines 605 overran runway due to gale force winds. It's Lufthansa, that's the one. Lufthansa 74 freight had a abort takeoff due to engine malfunction. So, yeah, sorry, it wasn't Air France, it was Lufthansa. That was due to engine failure. So how far from the airport now? We're 125 miles away. 125. We're late, -2 minutes. I'm going to stick another half an hour on now. So delay due to weather. About 30 minutes. You can't fly at night, just if it's all visual only. There's no navigation modes in this runway, it's airport. You can only land at daytime at VFR levels, which at the moment very much is. Even turbulence getting a bit lighter now. Still reporting heavy headwinds? Yes we are. It's only 70 knots now, so it has halved almost. Now at Dodzo, Romeo Golf coming up next. 27,000 feet still holding. Looking at about 670 against it. Gosh. So 29,000, is that down to 27, sorry. Yeah, okay, reduce that to 27. 36 miles for top of the cents. Not sure pilot, don't use that sim, we use IVAO. Yeah, 20 mile separation should be plenty enough, Josh F. Plenty enough. About 80 miles now from the final waypoint at Romeo Golf. I really like High-Tech Airport. They could have left it for General Aviation Museum like they did with the 65747. That's part of the city. Well, they did similar with what do you call it? Mixed Field in Chicago. That for years was GA Airport. After it got moved out to the was it Chicago Medway? I think the main airport just outside the city. They got moved over until in 2003. I think it was 2003. The mayor of the city decided just to bulldoze the entire thing down. But airports and cities do take a lot of regulation and licensing. High-Tech, certainly for safety aspects, was always going to be limited airports. I have been at Heathrow Myrtle Avenue, Adam, yes, I have been there. It's a good little place for spotting. Midway was Southwest Airport, wasn't it? I'll have to double check my American airports. Let's have a look. Google Chicago Airports. Chicago O'Hare, sorry. So this is two. So you've got Chicago O'Hare and Chicago Midway. So Midway is the kind of outer city, less used airport. O'Hare is the major international airport. Midway, used by Southwest Airlines predominantly, yes. We effective perfect landing, pilot landing with the best pilot and IVAO. Already done that, Caracon. I've actually done 2 flights and landings into Paro. Done it twice. Don't need to do it that time. It was EPAS 1G, which allows us to live in which is very good. Okay, so first even based at Midway. There you go, it shows the extent of their usage. I'm going to set the heading now just to manual, 277, not because we're going to, well, we're heading to Romeo Golf first, but it's after that, we need to do a bit of manual flying, well, manual heading control, guide us down into the valley. I'm really hoping this aircraft is capable of making a steady descent, because genuinely this is not the best of conditions for it. It's 36 miles from Romeo Golf to the airport, 36 top of descent, so essentially we can probably continue on to the head of the valley before we even make the approach in any way. How's fly been so far, Jason Oliver? Very, very bumpy, to say the least. Very, very bumpy indeed. It's runway... Well, we're approaching runway 15 at the moment, Soviet Wizards. Confirm that. Sorry, 14. We're approaching runway 14 into... Qamdo. Yes, pilot, I have stopped using P3D. That's now long gone. Once we land at the Paro, is messing with the speed brakes. You already set up a shambles approach. Looks up, found yourself the mountain. Not the best you've ever done. Well, it's a lot more tense when you're streaming it. Any mistakes you make are on camera. I mean, let's say my takeoff wasn't fantastic. Again, what was the flex I set up? Did I even set up a I'm sure. Oh, I can't go back because it's already passed. Either way, my takeoff was really shaky. I think it was flex 48. For some reason, the throttle just wouldn't notch into the flex, and so I just had to go Toga in the end. Wind velocity, it's a headwind right now of 70 knots, 72 knots. At its strongest, like 160 knots, so it's much more leveled out now. But just dip if you mess up, fam. True. Again, it's a 5 kilometre long runway. There is no reason for me to mess up this approach. What time is it? It's coming up to 10 o'clock. I might do a return leg. We'll see. The return leg will be a lot quicker than the departure, that's for sure. If the winds are as strong as they are, the bridge is about 20 minutes. You think it's mostly the flight model, not turbulence? You think so? It's a lot shallower now. Yeah, it's a little bit of flexing going on. Bit of a kick from the mountains, but it's not as strong as it used to be. Set altitude, flight level 200.
Flight level 200.
Down to 20,000. Is Fair Sensitive worth it? No, definitely not. Like a small gamer, I do not recommend the 737. Don't use IVAO, Blair. We use IVAO, as mentioned in the description, and the pinned comments. Yep, and that's part of the approach, Soviet Wizard. The wide valleys is what you use for the approach. QA, do your research, check your charts. There's no... Well, there's one thing I can do, which is a VOR of 1133. That's about it. Red navigation 113, press number 3. That goes into VOR. And that will just switch over to that. Head over to performance. We won't activate the approach phase. Yeah, we'll activate the approach phase now, then go on then. So that's all set up for the approach. We'll manually adjust our speeds as required into our descents. I believe it's that value there, which we're going to need to end up. Yeah, follow the charts continually until we reach the right place, make left hand turn, and then we approach in to land. Do I sensitive? No, I don't, Astial. But I've read the reviews and I've seen videos of it in action. Not very good. Do I prefer this A320neo or is it temperature max? I mean, I'm more of a Boeing person tactical duck, so I do prefer Boeings in real life, and therefore 737. But I haven't been in a max before yet. I'm hoping to one day, but as it stands, the answer is no, not yet. So we're still climbing. The weather is... Go on then, we'll cut down speed back 0.65. Spoilers out. We'll force the plane down one way or another. Joystick, tactical duck, joystick. What is that reducing down to? 260. Let's switch over to max speed control now. We'll reduce down to 270 knots. Record a replay. Depending on if we do a return leg or not, determines if we get to see the replay now or later. And this flight's already gone for, well, we should have landed about 25 minutes ago now. Some time we keep a very close eye on. Right, now we're descending. Immediately to our south. In fact, I think that's it right there, is it? Is that it? No, I don't think it is. No. We'll carry on. Like I say, we don't get to go to the visual part for a couple minutes anyway. But it is this, so we clear this mountain, potentially the lower actually a bit to the left there, and that's where it's like the main bulk of the approach. Reduce down to 15,000. Continue descents. Plus 24,000. This landing will be the most interesting we've done in a fair while. Yeah, actually the airport's just behind this mountain there. You can kind of see where the valley itself is, kind of where it dips in there. That's what we're going to have to fly through. Air brake Senges, because we can't descend without them active. Because of the amount of altitude we're gaining in this valley, we're gaining speed and altitude. Without it, we climb. Is this harder than Innsbruck? Massively, Hugh. Massively. entering the approach phase now.
We have begun our final descent to your destination. Flight attendants will be passengers in cabin to select aircraft one final time. So to reach the full episode, or the full upright position, please also store any carry-on items either in the seatback pocket or under the seat. Please treat all Wi-Fi related passengers to go any larger electronics.
Passing through 21,000, flight level 210. So make a left hand turn now. Not just yet. Now we'll route forwards, and we'll make a left as we pass that roof valley ahead. Welcome Gorilla Gamer, how are you doing? Welcome to the channel, welcome to the chat, how are you? Turn, heading 255. When are we gonna land? Hopefully next 10 minutes, Gorilla. Hopefully in the next 10 minutes. Very shortly. So that's probably the sharpest turn. This approach. I must admit, even I'm not super familiar with airports. There's a lot to this approach I don't even know about. Continue left hand to turn now, heading down to 200. Kill spoilers now, since we're at low enough altitude the wind's no longer playing a part of this descent. Reduce speed down to 240 knots, and that'll be the slowest we dare to go for the next couple of minutes. Oh, I'm not that worried, Soviet. I'm not quite in hand fly territory just yet. Heading a 180. Continuing. Okay, I've misjudged this turn slightly. Cut the descents, hold it. Continue the turn. Yeah, I should have flown a bit straighter there. It's gonna kind of cut across here a bit. It's that valley I'm flying parallel to. That's what I need to be in. That's more like it. Flying into the wrong valley. So now fly level and straight. Okay, we'll kill the terrain radar since we're going to go well over that. Right, that's more like it. See, the ground's a lot flatter now, and the valley starts to open up. Down to 30 knots, 220 even. That's him to set 1016. Left heading 180. Left heading 150.
2,500.
That's one. Keeping an eye open, because somewhere down below is a runway. Just 180 knots. Auto brakes, low. Trust me, this airport does not require really any braking. It's a high enough altitude already. And long runway. Road down below, that's a very good sign. So we are over some sort of civilization. And actually, I can get the runway there. It's currently 30 nautical miles to my left. So hand cam's going to probably need that in a couple of bits. Zero. And flaps 3 for landing, so we're on flaps 1 already. Cross over to 100 feet per minute. 15,000 will be the lowest we go. Wing views. Armour some spiders for landing. 180 knots will hold for it longer. Lack of attention, just know, yeah, it's pretty much tundra terrain this is. Very similar to tundra. The road is part of the trading route between Europe and China. Very good. A bit of acknowledge that. Alright, nice little wide open area. I make a left-hand turn now.
2,500.
And that's the direct heading to the runway.
2,500.
So at this point we're going 135. The airport is just behind this hill right here. So continue flying a little longer. We turn on landing lights, did we? Probably not, because yeah, we never really passed 10,000, but the altitude activates it. Welcome to how are you doing? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to chat. How are you today? Welcome to middle of China. Welcome to Tibet. Reduce speed to 170 knots, flaps 2. 60 knots. Not sure about that, Fourth. Got issues with sim crashing. Speak to a Sobo about that, I'm afraid. $15 miles to go. 15 miles, one more turn. Oh yeah, we manual hand landings of you, absolutely. Again, there's no ILS, no guidance. You have to land by hand regardless. In fact, I think that's the runway in sight right there. So I'm looking right close to the monitor now because I'm just having to look at this really visually. Yep, runway's in sight. Landing gear down.
Landing gear down.
Flaps position 3.
Flaps 3.
Armed spoilers, already armed. Crew, check.
Flight attendants, please prepare for landing. Under the
Right
bow.
hand heading. Level off at this point now. Heading 143, that's runway heading.
Minimum.
Minimums continue. Deactivate. Climate control. Turn off flaps 4, sorry. Flaps landing config 3. Guess you'll control back to the aircraft now. Now reduce 140 knots.
Minimum.
Yeah, so again, there's only about 20 knots of opening in terms of speed at the moment. Because of the high altitude of the airport,
1,000.
you go too slow. 1,000 steady approach. Set altitude 20,000. Missed approach altitude sets. No pappies, no guidance, no nothing. This place is sus. It's the second highest airport in the entire world. And the longest runway in the world at 5.5 kilometres. The
500.
terrain's barely struggling to load in at the moment. Throttle.
5.
Right. Drop the nose. No need to reverse thrust. Just gonna roll down the runway. Right, use the brakes. Spoilers retract. We'll continue to roll right up to where the runway now physically ends. In reality, the airport has changed. There's now two runways. There's a new runway that's parallel to the old one, which is 4.5 kilometers long. This new runway, well, the old runway is still in place, now disused. So things have changed a fair bit at this airport. We'll continue to the very end of the runway, and then we'll taxi back again. So still rolling. So applied no throttle in this. Although actually I can see the traffic inbound behind us, so hopefully we'll be able, or it should be long enough on the runway before they arrive anyway. To be fair, the runway's long enough, even if we are still on the runway, they'll have plenty of time to cover.
Celsius. You can now use your mobile device.
Flaps up.
Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a
Still rolling.
Tilt sign is turned off. Remember
Got
to
about
keep
kilometres to go now to the end of the runway.
as items may have been shifted during the flight. If this is your final destination, thank you for flying with us. If you're making a connection, we encourage you to check your itinerary to ensure a smooth continuation of your journey. We apologize for the
What's
delay.
happening in the Discord chat, sorry?
Airline staff as necessary regarding connecting flights or routes.
China is cursed by all means. Yep, still going. Still going. I've held no brakes yet. In reality, those aren't blast pads. That's all runway. Like I said, the airport itself in the sim has a few inaccuracies. We're based on the real airport plans, which this is still runway. Right, and welcome to the end of the runway. Here it's Qamdo Bamda Airport. Let's make a right, let's exit the runway. And now, we get to taxi all the way back again. It's the fun bits. We taxi all the way back to the terminal at the other end. Taxi lights set, standing lights off, APU starts. Turn off the flight directors. The upper terminal's Gorilla Gamer. It's over there. No, taxiway, it's more than enough for an A320. More than enough. Qamdo is pronounced more like Qamdo in reality in the Pinyin and New Chinese. Okay, Chengdu. I'll try and remember that in future. Whoops, to the right there. So it's Chengdu Bamda Airport. I'll remember that. Thank you very much. Chengdu Bamda Airport. Yeah, that makes sense. Why isn't chasing with the camera? Nope, chasing's on Flight Sim Pilot. This is all default camera in Flight Sim. All default camera. Here comes the other aircraft inbound. We're going to have no view of their landing because we're so far away from... No, you can just about see their landing. There we go. And touchdown, welcome. There's a windsock on the taxiway. Again, that in reality isn't actually there. That's just a bit of default scenery for you. Your home Drawyah, been living here for 4 months. Very nice. I'd love to visit this part of China. I don't know what there's to do in terms of tourism, but yeah, kind of just visit a real bit of China, see what life really is like out here, spend a day or two, and then head back somewhere big. We're going to try and go around this windsock because, you know, scenery. Might need a service road on the left there just to kind of avoid it. Yeah, I don't think we'll do the return flights. I've got an early shift tomorrow, so time unfortunately we have run out. But we do get to watch the replay, and therefore we do get to enjoy the full landing, the full length of the runway from the passenger point of view. So it's Qamdo Bamda. Chengdu Qamdo Airports. Yeah, Chinese pronunciation, never my strong point, I do apologise for any mispronunciations there. Qamdo Bamda. Right, we're almost at the taxi. Not almost at the terminal. Can we watch replay taxi? Oh yes, Lay, we're going to watch the replay of this taxi in every angle possible. Every angle possible. Do it from all the pilot views, all the passenger views, every single window, one by one, the entire length from start to finish. Like I said, the approach itself, definitely a bit of style to it. If you learn to read the grounds data and all that, you can get yourself in a pretty decent rate. I made a few minor errors and I went down the wrong valley initially, but with a small correction, we did manage it without too many problems. And there you go. There's the civilization that the airport caters for. Now, in reality, there's actually a town. There is a town or a small city that's north of here. Go to the map. It's actually where the Romeo Golf waypoint is. Chengdu. Sorry, Chengdu? Qamdo? Still, Qamdo. There we go. Qamdo. Yeah, small region that is served just north of the airports down the road. Well, quite a fair bit down the road. Thank you, fuel truck. I'll go around you as well. Doing a turn leg? Not today, just if not today. Too many cars to that place. Someone who actually speaks Chinese, it's pronounced Chumbao Bumna. As I say it, Chumbao Bumna. Chumbao Bumna. About 2 hours north. There you go. Right. We've got ground services waiting for us. That's always appreciated after a long flight. Well, the flight was longer than it should have been, but a lot of that came down to weather today. I'm sure passengers will be very pleased to be deboarded in this aircraft. Turbulence playing no part in the comfort of this trip. Taxi lights off. Don't want to blind the ground crews. Right, parking brake set. APU bleed active. And engines off. Wait for the end of the flight logbook. There you go, 1 hour 50-minute flight time today. Continue that. Seatbelt sign off. And there we have it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Qamdo Bamda Airport. Flight time today, 1 hour and 50 minutes. We thank you for flying with Air China, and we hope to see you again in the very near future. Cabin crew, death alarm doors, and cross check. Public address general. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Qamdo Bamda Airport. Flight time today, that's the jet bridge to the aeroplane. Starting off the beacon lights. That comes off. How's the other airplane doing? Probably sitting far in the taxiway. Where are they? Oh, I'm not sure they're gone. Probably out of draw distance range there. Well, there we go. Where it stands. This is the main bit that matters for us. Not a bad flight that. Turbulence was well harder than anything I was expecting. That was by far our bumpiest flight so far in Flight Sim. But decent landing, nice and soft. And you can't really fault it for that. You have to get to work at the airport around 3-hour drive. Gosh. It's a long trip there, dudes. Saying about Tibetan, yeah, we don't know Tibetan, just giving him Mandarin. Move the pushback trucks, vehicles are everywhere. Can't believe it. Not using. Oh, right. I'm not sure what. Yeah, I think. Well, Nightbot, just as the Nightbot does. Right, passengers deboarding, so they'll be leaving the aircraft through the jet bridge. Ah, there you go. They've reappeared, have they? So I must have no quick taxi back there. We've only just arrived ourselves. Let's end the flight. Let's have the passenger report. So, Air China 4407 A320neo from from Chengdu to Chengdu. There we go. 1 hour 40-minute flight time. Planned departure was 46. Planned arrival 2200. We arrived 2201. 178 passengers. Satisfaction at 86%. Landing rate 183. Block time of 142. Medium delay due to weather, but otherwise a soft landing. Passengers, yeah, slightly parched. Don't think we've got a drink service in the flight today. The turbulence was just that bad. But shout outs to Julio Azerbaijanisation of surnames for their flight on board of ours today. I'll drop the report in chat, so if you want more detail, feel free to do so via the link and drop down. Yeah, okay, and then we'll go to replay. So we'll stop recording the replay now. We will disconnect from IVAO. I must admit, the traffic today that followed us, relatively disappointing. The 4 aircraft that started, only 2 made it, and Aviator managed to somehow flip his aircraft up at cruise, which, I'm sure I did that. How to get aircraft passenger names? With PACX, Jigsaw, yes, it's included with default PACX. Chengdu. Again, Chinese not the strongest points. I should probably kind of like a, well, yeah. Before I start in, before I start flying anywhere, really, just kind of learn some of the basics of where I'm starting going. I'll pick up on that. I do apologise for any mispronunciations. Last name comes first, for third name China. Even English, that's weird. Chengdu in opinion for us. Right. So everyone's landing, shall we? So we'll load up the replay. There you go, right, so let's find ourselves on a short final, there we go. So we'll start from the RAM view, I think. I mean, there's not really much to look out the window, I must admit, but so we get rid of the terrain out here. There ain't much to look at. So it's a short approach in. You kind of see where my wings interact well. Where I'm interacting 6, kind of the aircraft nice and level. Final then, slight float and touchdown. Once again, no use of reverse thrust. You just roll the aircraft right down to the end of the runway. .160 knots that touchdown was, 150 odd at the terminal. Nice gentle coast right down to the end of the runway. Right, I've got the same from the left hand side now. So this is more kind of looking out towards the river that flows down the valley. So you'll see that snake down below. Left and right to the aircrafts. Are the slats supposed to retract? They did, so they did. There's a few buildings down the left-hand side as well. Presume they're, well, based on the fact they're on the side of the mountain, I'm going to guess former mines. Would there be mining in this region? Transport Gamer? I mean, what would be the big trade of this region? What would be the big kind of production? It's not agriculture. I'd probably guess that much. My only guess would be mining, really. It is mining. There you go. This is where chat gets quite interesting, because I presume... Well, I'm guessing Soviet Wizard and Transport Gamer are both of Chinese origin, but Transport Gamer, being here, is of a more Tibetan origin. And without going into too much politics, Tibetan and China, not the most straightforward history. Water as well, water rivers. Oh, okay, so it's actually huge water regions. Okay, that's quite interesting to know, actually. So water will also play a big part of this part of China as well. Because water's quality, especially towards the inland areas, especially here in China, it's going to be very scarce, and therefore a lot more happening in regards to where water comes from and goes. Okay, co-pilot modded cockpit. Yes. Oh, cockpit view D700. I think there's a mod for it. At least there used to be. You'd have to double check that. But I'm sure that there used to be a mod. I don't know if it still works. YouTube is banned in China and Tibet. That's what I'm saying. Of they're both of origin. I don't know if they live here now. They're just on a VPN or whatever. But certainly, of Chinese and Tibetan origin, there will be some conflicts in that. So there you go, short final from the runway point of view. Slight flare, but there we go, touchdown. Oh, you work at the airport, do you? Okay. What part of the airport do you work at, Transport Gamer? Dispatch, tower, ground crew. And let's live Theo probably tomorrow if all goes to plan. I mean, in regards to interesting views, that's pretty much it for this airport. Because it's so scarce, I mean... It's just... Yeah, I mean, it's like, there's no control. I don't think there's a control tower. There is, you can't see it. Probably on the terminal somehow. Well, that's kind of it really. Done. Well, we could probably go for nose gear view, I guess, or something. But we are a little more limited views. There's no real, like, buildings, places to see. Maybe go to the motorway. That's about it really. The highway. Stand by the river. See, in this route, you can really see kind of how we do bunny hop. We do floats. It's a relatively simple recovery. Touchdown. Pretty much straight away again. On sense line for most parts. No issue there. No reverse is required again because it's just so long. Yeah, that's about it really. So, yeah, that I guess. A grand visor. Oh, very nice. Right, that I guess brings us to the end of the stream today. So, that was, if I can get the pronunciation right one more time, that was Chengdu to, if I can find the message again. So, Chengdu to Qamdo Bamda. That was Air China in the A320, and that was once again on IVAO with all the fun A to C side stats. Hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, do like if you did enjoy it, do subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you very much for tuning in, and if all goes to plan, I'll be back in tomorrow for some more flights in action. Take care of yourselves, have a good one, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, and bye-bye. And good night. We'll roll to the end of the runway at least, just kind of get that much going. Given that there is still another kilometre to go for this runway. But we'll roll it through. Very good on Chinese pronunciation. Thank you very much, Wizard. Thank you very much. Nearly there. Nearly there. Maybe I should slow down to like half speed as well. Just get longer. Thank you, Chancellor Gamer. Thank you for the kind words. And there we go. End the runway. Take care, guys. Have a good one. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.